Are we live? Hi, Leah Finley of SimpleDigestionSolutions.com. And you know, I got a fantastic question about enzymes, so I want to quickly go into this with you because I'm going to actually be having a guest and doing a whole broadcast on this. I just wanted to quickly get this out to you for now. So I'm just going to screen share and show you a quick photo about what enzymes break down what foods, because they do a few things in your system. They break down foods. They also are the delivery to assimilate nutrients, absorb nutrients. They also go into the intestines. So this is with meals, right? So without meals, on an empty stomach, they go into the intestines and they break up matter that shouldn't be there. And if you can imagine, there's people, and autopsies have shown this, that are carrying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and up pounds of matter in their intestines that shouldn't be there. So when you have old matter on the walls of your intestines, how are you going to absorb your nutrients into your bloodstream and have it go where it's going to balance and rebuild and regenerate and renew you? If you have old matter stuck on the walls of your intestines, you're recirculating it. You're poisoning yourself. One meal in, one meal out is how you started as a baby. And when you go on to solid food, that should not change. And enzymes can be one of your best friends to help this along, whether you're only eliminating once a day or less, or if you're eliminating 8, 9, 10 times a day or more. That neither one of those are a good case scenario. Let's fix this. Getting bloated or tired, skin rashes, I could go on and on. Things that you might not even be aware is a digestive issue. Blood pressure, blood sugar, asthma, there's so many. So A to Z, you name it, it's got to do with your digestion. So, okay, first let's go into, I'm going to just screen share. Bear with me because sometimes this goes a little odd. Okay, like that. So this here, look at this. I just usually rattle off, look for a full spectrum enzyme, you know, with amylase, lipase, protease, cellulase, and bam, that's it. That's all people really get out of me. So I really wanted to show you, what am I talking about? So picture your plate. If you've got a great big green salad or mixed salad on that plate, you've got a lot of complex carbohydrates and fibers and certain sugars and proteins in that food. If you've got that accompanied with some starchy vegetables, same thing. And now you've got maybe some beans or something on the side. For those who are vegan, you wouldn't have any of the flesh proteins, but some of you would. So let's take a look at this chart. Amylase is for carbohydrates, bromelain for proteins, cellulase for fiber. Now these are all different kinds. There's many different kinds of proteins and so on. Now, some of you may be lactose intolerant. So those of you that prefer to have dairy products and can't tolerate it well may have been told this. So if you take lactase, you could tolerate that milk sugar. Maybe. That's not the only reason people can be intolerant to dairy. Okay, unfortunately with dairy, the molecule itself looks a lot like a gluten molecule from grains, and the body can have an inflammatory response and have food sensitivity to dairy products because they have a gluten intolerance, and the casein looks very similar from dairy as gluten does from grains. So there's many reasons. It's not just about the lactose intolerance. So there's a lot more to it. So with enzymes, another thing that I'd like to show you is I'm going to be creating a handout that's simplistic like this and very detailed like this one, because there's so much to know about this. And one thing I love about how our brain works is if we're taking something and we know why, it actually works 50% better, right? So let's do this. I'm going to get this handout ready for you. This is just a quick video to just quickly bring you up to speed. I'm going to just stop screen sharing now, and I wanted to just give you a heads up. If you're going to be looking for for enzymes out there, there's some things that you need to know. So again, I'm going to back in and share my screen. Share screen. I share the entire screen. That's why you get this 3D effect. There we go. Not 3D, but dominoes. Okay, digestive enzymes. So take a look. I love New Roots Herbal. It's a very good company. And I've been to the labs. They actually have won 4 different licenses because they create the equipment needed to find out what's in stuff like herbs and plants and stuff like that that shouldn't be there. So when you hear about tests, when you have third-party testing, you send something to a lab to see if it's organic or not, for example, these are the kinds of labs you send it to. So there's only a few, just a very small handful of labs in the whole world that has the kind of credentials that this lab has. Okay, digestive enzymes. You will see if you are vegan, you are not going to want to take this one because it has ox bile in it and the calcium, let's see the caplet. Okay, they're using a veggie cap, which is fantastic. They do not have any fillers in here that I'd be concerned with at all. This company never does, but this is what you want to be aware of. The ox bile, you're not going to want to take this enzyme. So if I've typed in enzymes, I would probably want to do plant digestive enzymes. So see how this is giving you a good heads up. So if you are vegan or vegetarian, or you just prefer not to, some vegetarians don't mind certain animal products. See how there's no ox bile in here. Okay, so this is an example of what you want to look at labels. Here's another one. Avena Originals, fantastic products. Their quality has to be just absolutely so, or they will drop that particular product. They will not carry it. And I love that there is no fillers, and myself, no gluten, no soy. These are very important to me. I only recommend products that I know my clients are going to get results, and they're not going to also be taking something in that's going to be causing problems. This is a company I don't care for. And it's because they actually do use a lot of filler in here, and it's not the kind of stuff that I would recommend that you ingest. The amounts of certain products, it might look very good on the label, but it is not going to do you any good ingesting it, period. Also, tablets as opposed to capsules, in most cases, the extreme energy it takes to force something into that form tend to not break down in the gut. Multivitamins and calcium magnesium supplements are some of the worst for this, but it can also be things like these tablets here that don't break down very well in your system. Don't chance it. Another thing that you need to know about digestive enzymes is if you were to Google and find out an article like this, I want to give you a heads up. I love and respect John Douillard, but I do not agree with this article. And here's why. Yes, ultimately, I want my clients to end up not needing to supplement many, many things. And this article actually has some misinformation in it. I'm going to take you to the bottom where I love information too, because I'm not dissing this guy, period. But I just don't agree with some things. Down here, alternatives to digestive enzymes, I absolutely agree with this. This is fantastic. Make sure you keep, if you're going to be doing these greens, beets, celery, and stuff like that, to keep the fiber. Don't juice without fiber, protein, or fat, depending on what you're juicing, because you're going to have a different effect altogether. But eating these, drinking this, adding this, absolutely agree. What I don't agree with is, up here he talked about Dr. Bernard Jensen and how he talked about his belly was distended and bloated and so on. Okay, now I'm going to come back to you because I really want to look you in the eye when I say this. There's a misinformation in this article. Dr. Bernard Jensen was in his 90s when he was in the hospital dying of stomach cancer. I mean, none of us live forever. Something does get us. And the thing is, he had issues his entire life. He became a digestive health expert. Iridology is another thing that he gets credited for. I am a certified iridologist. That's one of the things that I do for analysis with my clients. But iridology is also there's a German background to it that claim it. There's Chinese background that claim it. Iridology was actually discovered in many parts of the world at the same time. That science is not just Dr. Bernard Jensen's. So that's one thing that's kind of false information out there. Also, when he was in the hospital on his deathbed and bloated up and distended, yes, absolutely. Dr. Michael O'Brien went to his bedside and fed him 500 super enzymes a day. And he went from being 96 pounds and on his deathbed to hiking on his ranch in 2 weeks. So that's the absolute of it. And how do I know this? I'm going to go back to screen share. I want to show you this because it's important for you to know for credibility reasons why. This here, Avena Original Super Digestive Enzymes formula is created, the formulator is Dr. Michael O'Brien. This is the formula that he took to Dr. Bernard Jensen and had him back on his ranch instead of having his last rites read to him. That's a fact. I've sat down with Dr. Michael O'Brien myself. So there is the real story. Okay. What do you need to know? Okay, fillers, veggie caps if you're vegan, ox bile if you're vegan, but also there are certain enzymes that you should not take if you have acid reflux, heartburn, the kinds of things where your stomach acid stops at your diaphragm. So if you don't, did I say stomach acid? It should stop there too. I meant stomach lining. So there is no lining. So if you have ever had stomach acid up into your mouth and throat, how it burns, it's very, very bad. And there are certain things that you should not be taking, even if it's a supplement or natural, like all the words that people use. No, it is not one size fits all. So I can only go so far when I want to bring your attention to certain things. But the fact is, to know what works for you and not me or your neighbor or your relative is really key. Okay, so if you're watching this on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you may be seeing this, this is what I invite you to do. Let's talk. I'm Leah Finley, SimpleDigestionSolutions.com, and I just feel that the conversation should start with just you and me because we are all so different. It's not one size fits all. I don't believe in the blanket approach at all. I had health issues since I was born, and that's why I do what I do today, because when I found out what works, I took training and developed my own system. I've been doing this for over 20 years, helping others, and I know I can help. So have a conversation with me. You can email Leah at SimpleDigestionSolutions.com. You can text me wherever you're seeing this. I'm sure there's a way that you can get a hold of me. Okay, thank you for watching. Bring on your questions wherever you see this. I'd love to help you out with anything that's got to do with digestive enzymes, digestion, or anything about your health. Leah Finley, bye for now.